Hi everyone, welcome to Sportive Mechanics on YouTube. I'm Nicholas. Today I'm presenting the new Volkswagen Tiguan. In fact, it's the video that you've watched the most on this channel. For those who are curious, you are more than 400,000. Having already watched the video of the old model. So today your win invited me to present this version here, which has been reviewed quite thoroughly. We will see it on the outside, just like on the inside. Also in terms of size, it gets a little longer, it widens, but a lot of new things inside. Both in terms of multimedia optimization and comfort, and even a new suspension that was improved, which was taken up, the model's a little bit more upscale. We'll discuss everything about this car and its various engine options, which offer a wide range of choices as before. In terms of hybridization, a lot of new features and especially an extended range up to 100 kilometers announced by Volkswagen, since we have a much larger battery. We go back in detail on the whole hybridization system, but also all the new engines that are hidden under this hood. We don't have the prices for this car yet. It will start to arrive very soon and we could try them at the beginning of the year. 2024, since it is indeed the 2024 version of this model. In terms of finishes, it will be available in Tiguan Live Plus Elegance, Airline and Airline exclusive finishes, which will be the top of the range model. And maybe, if you are wise and depending on the penalties, etc. There will be an Air version, as there is currently, a bit like the Golf Air. That, it's true, is nice. We will always find turbocharged direct injection, turbocharged stratified injection, and spark ignition, and hybrid engines. The version we have here today, it's a hybrid version. We can see that there is also a new recharge in addition to this new battery. We are using the MQB platform again, which allows us to make quite a few modifications, and especially to have quite a few engines, as well as a rechargeable hybrid version. No fully electric version, as Volkswagen focuses on the EDI versions for 100% electric models. And that's a good thing to differentiate the two. Then I know that some people, like some brands, for example Peugeot, who made the 208 and 208 exactly the same look, but either in thermal or in electric. There, they made the choice to be able to make a 100% electric range and a hybrid version. And even if we can drive 100% electric with rechargeable hybrid versions over quite a few kilometers, especially if they announce 100 kilometers. In terms of engines then, we will have quite a few choices, especially in France. We will focus on the diesel versions. So in diesel, we have a 2-liter that will make 150 horsepower or 183 horsepower, which will be the training versions, that is to say 4-wheel drive. And yes, we still keep the 4-wheel drive. For people who live in the countryside, we will also have a gasoline version in 2 liters as well, like the diesel version in 204 horsepower or 265 horsepower in training as well. There will also be ITSI versions. It's a version with a 48-volt micro hybridization that allows the Alcarnot starter to restart the engine more quickly and have small hybrid phases. So that means we're going to drive, for example, when we decelerate or brake. In electric, the engine will cut off a little bit faster and gain a little bit in autonomy. In terms of consumption, it announces up to 1,000 liters of savings compared to a basic turbocharged stratified injection engine. ITSI 48V versions will be available in 130 horses or in 150 horses. And it's also a new engine than the hybrid versions. They will be assisted by the new 1.5 turbocharged stratified injection, Evo 2 engine, an evolution from the previous 1.4 version, and also with some small modifications at the level of the liners, quite a few things. Turbos, which allows for a better cycle, and also the Miller cycle that was brought to these cars to also consume a little less. And since these are plug-in hybrids, I hope they've worked well throughout the cycle. To be able to, even when we no longer have battery, have autonomies and consumptions decreasing. In terms of plug-in hybrid versions, we will have the choice between 240 horsepower or 272 horsepower. Adding electric motors is starting to become advantageous, as it always brings additional power to the engines. So the 1.5 liter will be 150 horsepower plus 115 horsepower in electric, or 177 horsepower plus always the 115 horsepower in electric. So which will bring these cumulative powers of 204 or 272 horsepower. Depending on the country, it may or may not come to France. Either the 1.59 quarts turbocharged stratified injection Evo engine with 150 horsepower or 177 horsepower. But we will rather have the 48-volt versions, us, compared to the penalty we have in France at the level of hybrid versions. Rechargeable, so new battery. Before we had around 10 kilowatt hours, now we moved to 19.7 kilowatt hours, which is much larger and therefore allows 100 kilometers. I'm excited to test this. On my channel, we frequently do autonomy tests. Now, manufacturers don't show too much. We managed to approach worldwide harmonized light vehicles test procedure data under good conditions. The advantage this time is that we can recharge on the flap on the side here up to 11 kilowatts, which takes about 2 hours to recharge this battery to 100%, or combo version with the test plug up to 50 kilowatts. That's good, since many brands still don't make the effort on plug-in hybrids to put faster charges. I think that's important. And this time, with the 50 kilowatts, we can recharge about 100% of this battery in about 30 minutes. Well, as you can see today, new color on this Tiguan, it's Cypressino green. I can't wait to see it on the street. Under the spotlights, it looks great and I'm in tune, even though I didn't do it on purpose. In terms of the dimensions of this car, it is 4 meters 54 in length, 30 millimeters more, 1 meter 84 wide and 1 meter 64 high, and 4 millimeters more than the previous versions. The training version will be able to tow up to two 661.389 pounds, which is quite impressive. On this front part, a lot of evolution, as we can see this long strip here. And it's eye coolie lights that were taken from the Volkswagen toy rig. The toy rig, it was really the top of the range of the brand, and we now find eye coolie lights again. With 19,200 pixels inside, that means there are 200, now I give it to you, that's a lot, 19,200. The help inside that will allow to really well focus and divert the car that will be in front. Where are the cars? Allow full beam on everything else. I can't wait to try them, as I haven't tried the same. To check the output, as I'm aware of brands within the group, Audi and Mercedes both make excellent, quite incredible lights. I haven't really tried the high-end lights of your sheath, for example. So new feature on these ACU lights, also new feature on the back that I'm showing you. So we have the daytime light signature here is also integrated on the side, on the exterior light there, with this little signature that surrounds the optical block, the flashing and scrolling indicator. The car features dynamic flashing at both the front and rear, and everything down to the bottom has been modified. We have a grille here that is widening even more, with chrome parts that come around the plate. We can find the Volkswagen logo here, which integrates the sensors for driving aids. Of course, we will have level 2 driving with the cameras up there, the travel assist, the predictive travel assist. And above all, a new thing, it's the new dynamic chassis control on this car. The dynamic chassis control is the controlled suspension from Volkswagen. Until now, there were already 15 levels to choose from. But now, they have moved on with different shock absorbers that were also on the cars, a little bit more premium and high-end. With a double valve that allows for even more optimized settings, we will find additional comfort. Most importantly, the cameras and other sensors will enable it to analyze the road more quickly. And so they announce superior comfort. So I admit that I'm eager to use it. Even on a T-Roc or other vehicles, we already had a controlled suspension that was quite interesting, even for a sports car. We could go from something quite soft to something very firm, and it was 15 positions. Looking forward to testing this, even in auto mode, to see the results. It will also affect the tire sidewall height. But looking forward to seeing what it gives. Lower down, we find a plastic part common on all SUVs, which forms part of the body. As usual, it's a tour of the bodywork and plastic parts. Although not painted, I wish I had seen them finished. The key would have given them a slightly more premium look, as Tiguan, who precisely now is gradually moving up in range. You will see inside we have the impression of being really in a fairly high-end car. As I mentioned earlier, there are many engine options under this hood. The version you are currently seeing is a hybrid version, meaning we have a battery in the back, in the trunk, and then an electric motor. 115 horsepower, plus a 1 liter 5 turbocharged stratified injection Evo, 2 also on the front. The air curtains are visible, allowing air to pass through and exit via the wheel arches. This is always for the improvement of the CX, and the air penetration coefficient. The car has improved, going from 0.33 to 0.28. This helps in terms of consumption and also helps in terms of aerodynamics. And it makes it run a little bit better. It makes less noise. Normally, it's always on the side so we can see it. A car that is 4 meters 54, it's quite long. We are followed, they all become bigger and bigger. But normally, it plays for the habitability inside at the level of the wheelbase. Moreover, we are on 2 meters 68. That is to say, between the front axle and on air, the center, 2 meters 68. That normally leaves quite a bit of space for the people who are going to sit inside. The gas cap is on one side while the charging port is on the other. As mentioned, it has a charging speed of up to 50 kilowatts. or 11 now, instead of the 3.7 or 7.4. It also brings a little more. We will recharge faster on all the city stations. On the side, we find rims ranging from 17 to 20 inches depending on the desired finish. And originally it goes from 17 to 19 inches depending on the finishes. Then we can optionally have 20 inches. They are rather pretty today, diamond version of course. 4 disc brakes, CD, front-wheel drive version for all versions except the Ford Motion versions, which will be 4-wheel drive, so with 2 diesel engines or 2 gasoline engines. On the side, the chrome surrounds, and at the window level go all the way around. We still have the little Volkswagen now on the side, the bars that have not necessarily evolved, the little rock antenna where we can see that we don't have any asphalt. On this version, I find it with a plastic base and also cameras, since we have a 360 camera pack on the model presented today. And the water arches that make a plastic tour, as I told you, which starts from the front, goes all the way around and ends at the back. So it can be in the box version, it will be a little extra. We find handles that fridge with finger locking when we have the key in our pocket. Of course, we have the one that leaves on its versions. On the rear part, so a very, very long spoiler here, which extends to the third light. Stop, we have a speed that is tinted, especially there, as seen here with the pots. It's very dark, with a practical windshield wiper and a long light strip that doesn't extend fully across, stopping partway. To the Volkswagen that was split in 2, so we can always see through thanks to this plastic part. And then we see 3 double parts, 1 year, not double part, and triple part. On the end, these are the welcoming lights that have evolved depending on whether we brake or not. They call this the click-clack, it's funny. Scrolling blinker version then, with the animation also on the side. Then, when we go down a little bit, we have the backup camera here, the plate with this new Tiguan, and we have the Tiguan badge here in chrome and hybrid version. On the end, right here with a little bit of blue, some small chrome embellishments here, which are frankly very pretty. Then, we have the reflective strip that runs along the length of the car. We find the parking sensors here. A plastic part to hold the ring. No exhaust, which is common for hybrid vehicles now. We hide the exhaust, it's better, it's more politically correct to make exhausts. Even if your gain always makes small air versions quite nice. And here, at the trunk level, so we have the door that is motorized. We find for the non-hybrid versions 652 liters, which adds 37 liters to this trunk for the hybrid versions, rechargeable as in today. As we have a battery, one that also grows, we find a volume around 490 liters, so 490. As you can see, on Eco, it goes really well. I have little buttons here that normally deploy my little live date ball. Normally it's supposed to be there. It arrived in perfect condition to see that there is a little bit of space. There are storage bins on the sides, enough to fold down the bench. Here, little hooks that come out to put on the bag, that's good. When you do your shopping and take turns, it allows you to make sure that the bags do not fall on this side and not on this side. That's a shame. On the other hand, we have the little tow ball, and if I could, normally, will it go all the way to the end? No, it doesn't go all the way. To do that, just recall class 1 and it locks. So we have the hard beach here and we have a little bit of space underneath, enough to store your charging cables, which is not a bad thing, it's tidy. The bench folds down in a 40-20-40 configuration and we have a top tether ISOFIX attachment on the 2 end seats. I'll take you back inside. We close. It's still pretty. I like this color. So in terms of the rear seats of this new Tiguan, it has stretched out a little bit. Are we going to have room in the back? I hope so in any case. First view, we're not bad here. I get in right away and this bench is well inclined, which allows me to be very relaxed right away. There, I see a computer screen from here, the 15-inch screen. The screen is gigantic, it's incredible. Well, when I come to sit down, so this bench is quite flat. However, it comes right to the end of the knees and the same. The seats are mounted on rails, which are mounted on small extensions a little bit higher, which allows me to put my feet well underneath. And look at the space I have. I adjusted the seat in front for me. So I am 1.80 meters at the head level. I have a lot of space. At the knee level, I have a lot of space. Then I have a door with a nice finish, hard plastic on the water, but the lake is a kind of white leather. Hear the Mankarten sound. And as you can see at the end here, in fact, I'm going to have a small LED that I can customize in terms of colors, so that's also a novelty. Then the corridor here, which foams and a kind of leather and small stitches. Honestly, we are in beautiful performances. We have the bins here for the bottles that are with carpet inside. Then we stay on hard plastic, but rather qualitative. Handle for everyone, the small LEDs just at the top, a central armrest with the tab, which is perfect. Especially, it seems to me, while this, we can pull it, we can now put our tablet right here. We have the double cup holder like this, so it's pretty cool. I like it. It's original. Then when I'm here, we have the risotto air conditioning. That means I can adjust the temperature here at the back, not the airflow, but at least more hot or colder. And also I have two USB Type-C ports. Is actually a voice air conditioning or not cancelled, the voice command. She heard me and she said, I put the quick air conditioning. That's not at all what I wanted. The bench here, rather not bad. We have the belt here for the third person. On the side attachment, top thesa, fixed network on the ends. And I have this, can I adjust it on different levels? So 1 level, 2, 3, 4, 5, let's say about 10 levels of inclination. So either I can stand very straight like this or like this. But also, what's great is that I can slide my bench over 18 centimeters. And there, I give even more volume to the back in the trunk. So we can do 2/3 on this side and 1/3 for the seat here, which in the end is an individual seat. Similarly, I can fold it down, and when I fold it, I have almost a full floor for the attachment here. Then I can remove this strap to put it back, and there you go, we still have quite a bit of space. We're in the middle seat. There's a big central tunnel, typical for a 4-wheel drive version. The air conditioning is pleasant. In fact, it was hot in this pipe. So when I sit here, then the little loop here, I map them. It doesn't bother me. It's rather comfortable. The backrest a bit harder since it's the central corridor. I have space at the knee level. 44, here it just passes, just in front of the rails. So I can hold myself like this with my feet a little bit closed and I'm fine. We always have the small pockets on the top and also the size on the bottom, and we have good visibility. What might be missing might just be from this version. A large panoramic roof would be a real plus today, as it would complement the slightly white interior and bring in additional light. And yet we are in the studio and it's rather good to live inside. We also have a top teaser Isofix mount on the front seat, so you can see here we find a kind of iguana. So if it wants to focus on the window, maybe it's for the kids, but on the other side, look here, there's a tiger, so I love it. Maybe it's for the kids to make the animals talk, but we don't find that on the other windows. We just have them here at the back, and I admit that I find it very, very stylish. What do you think? This? It's small, everything I love. Well, this back is looking more and more like its big brother, the Touareg. Come on, I'll take you inside with the little chrome ones here, the doors, and look at everything inside. There, you're going to see the big screen down there already. So now as it's starting, I back up all the way to give you the best visibility. But look then, this screen is incredible, 15 inches. The thing is gigantic, so inside we're going to go from left to right. We start with the door here, so very well finished. The little stitches, it's foamed, it's nice. The handle, very nice, the lock. And as you can see, there are colors here with LEDs inside. In these little lines are integrated parts, if white stitches. It's very, very worked on the front part. Compared to the back, there's really a real difference. It's true that it's often the driver who buys his car, so he's the one who deserves to enjoy it the most. The windows here, the mirror settings with the disassembly, folding them back. On this side, we have the catch sense and open the trunk. Here, we have the modes for the lights, so I can put on high beam disable auto mode. There, for example, it activated my headlight and I have the high beam on. As you can see, it really, really lights up well with its lights. AR light with 18 or 19,000 pixels, it's just incredible. Then we raise the ventilator on this side. It's pretty nice, it's simple, a screen here, a screen here. This one is huge, I believe. The resolution is 2240 by 1000 and some, so it's roughly the resolution of a good computer. We can see it, we can't see the pixels at all. And it's also the new multimedia system that will appear on the IDEA 7 CMI B4. So normally it's supposed to be faster, nicer, and it seems to work well. We have the top view bar, we have shortcuts at the bottom, with all the air conditioning always in touch. So we like it, we don't like it, can synchronize, we can put the eco mode. We always have that, and then I didn't want auto air conditioning here. I'm turning it off. But as we see, I can activate or deactivate the air conditioning. Where do I do that? So the same thing, but it still works well, much better than before. A shortcut key here to return to the menu. I still have the widgets, but the widgets have become huge. Tesla, we have nothing to envy them with this huge screen, especially since we have our own screen. For the driver, we can configure many things and it's quite fast. It's frankly much better up there. Our shortcuts that we want, the brightness that we can adjust, can switch to dark mode. We can also switch to light mode. If we prefer white, I admit that the dark, it was not bad. So on these little shortcuts right here, list of radios, etc. We can record quite a few things. So the volume here, hop, and the bison for the air conditioning. 2 vents right in the center with the warning. And we also find this part that will light up with LED on this side, just like in the door. Here, on the right and there, we can see the new Tick Ross, which I made a video of. It's the new Tick Ross, 2024 also. White part, honestly, it's very well finished. I feel like I'm in a really higher end version of this car. Then here, we have a holder there for the phone. We have 2 more underneath for phones with induction charging. Right here, we find the start button, this part, which is all new here. I can switch from volume, but I'm not sure how it works. Joy. And here I can customize, but look at the ambience, minimal, and it changes the themes of the car. If I switch to minimal, I've switched to blue. Everything has turned blue inside. And likewise, if I press again, I can switch back. For example, in the lounge, everything has turned purple due to the small lights, even inside. Here, this button has been pressed and it also serves as a volume control. Or when I press once to change the car's themes with the shortcuts, this dial controls the volume when I press it. And if I switch from themes to driving mode, so either Eco Comfort, Sport or Individual, as we can usually find it on the screen with the drive mode, and so this time it will be here. So then it's not necessarily ultra instantaneous, but we can press and switch. So if, for example, I'm in my modes and I press again, do I switch to volume? Okay, so released in volume, and if I press again, thin will be memorized, so I will be on the mode of driving and not on the themes, so it will remember. If you change more or less themes, it will be more the themes that will be memorized, otherwise it will be the driving modes. As you can see, the screen is gigantic. Look at the tall gentleman. Then we have the parking brake at this location. As you can see, there is no more gear selector. Where did he go? You go back up after the double door, cup holder here, storage here, very spacious, and the corridor that I can adjust in height and forward and backward, which can foam. It looks rather comfortable, firm, but correct. So there we change the theme of the Armankaden car.
Ja, säkert det reicht tamamen da is au miller me koba au wiestin maybe is view tam has ut I fipu my so I that see
So a bottle, 1.5 liters, I think it passes 2 liters, I'm not sure. The door bins provide ample storage space. I showed you the steering wheel, but not the door bin storage. Usually, we always start with the steering wheel, with a small but flat round on everything else. Physical buttons and more tactile. Thank you, this is good. We have listened on this side, the driving aids, the modes with assisted work, the accesses. It's the limiter, so that we have it here cancelled, and faster, slower. The distance with the vehicle that precedes me. On this side, it's going to be the voice command, the heated steering wheel, the views, so that means I can always change my previews on the screen. Here, the virtual cockpit, so we're going to see the counters, and the same there, as you can see, it's a brand new counter. Volkswagen introduces a redesigned model maintaining a similar appearance to its predecessor, but with a fresh theme. But we can see that it's a little bit evolved, the same in terms of the locations of things. And if you have an eye for it, you saw it right here, so we can discover then, if I press the brake, what I will be able to do. Here, I am in drive, here I switch to reverse, and then watch when I switch to reverse. The 360 cameras are 360 cameras, really much more high-end than before. We have the park assist here, which will help us, the trailer assist. If I also have a trailer and a good 360 camera, I can also just watch with my trailer. And I can really watch very, very wide angle. It's frankly very, very nice. And from this version with the 360 view or top quality, so now we move on like at others, or at Mercedes or others, or on the ideas with that. We tilt forward to go forward, backward, reverse, which activates the cameras, the parking button. We press once, and if I went into drive, if I want to go into sport, I would recall times. As you can see, the S gets in, we go back to parking, and now we have nothing here anymore if we want to shift gears. Before, we could do it lever sometimes. So now we will practically have to do it with the plus and minus paddles on this side. So no 100% electric version, but plug-in hybrid version. Today, we can potentially have a manageable recovery using the paddles and an electric mode on the screen. I showed you this, I showed you this, I showed you, I didn't show. On the top, on the water, we find the little glasses box that I love so much, the Save Our Souls button. The LEDs here, which are normally touch sensitive, no, they are not good with this. The car is in demo mode, maybe that stays on. The borderless rear view mirror here, it means without edge, and the little LED with the mirror. But it's quite small, but I can see myself. Hello mom, I'm on television handle for everyone. As I was telling you, the seats look like this, so we have new seats as well, by the way. These new seats, they have become heated and massaging. We didn't have that before. Now we have a real massage. 10 points, that's a real plus. We see that little by little, most cars are moving up in range. It's true, however, that the prices too are starting to become a little bit expensive. The cars, but well, at least it's getting better and better as long as there are still cheap cars left. 8 and 2, I can't wait to have it. A white and black head, it's very pretty, I can see it. We have beautiful finishes, it didn't send anything to envy. A high-end seat, ISOFIX and top taser attachment, as I was telling you. Good lateral support, both on the seat and on the sides as well. You can see that it's perforated leather, that's good for the summer. The view of the rear seats looks like this, and as you can see, is quite spacious, with their lighting on the upper part. I like it, honestly. This new Tiguan, you can feel that we've really taken a step above the old one. I was already good, but now you can feel more. In 2024 is not yet, but it's coming in 2024. Well, I hope you enjoyed this discovery of this new Volkswagen Tiguan. I admit that I'm really looking forward to trying it out because it looks really very nice. This new suspension, these new hybrid engines in 19 kilowatt hours version almost 20, which brings up to, in theory, 100 kilometers of autonomy. I'm excited to test this. The interior shows we've made significant progress. And I don't know about you, but I admit that it really tempts me. The old one was already very nice, but now I feel like I have a mini Touareg. Can't wait to try it. Well, if you like this video, don't hesitate to give it a little blue thumbs up like this. Subscribe. It's crucial for me to bring you more exclusives like this and always be among the first to do so. I know you like that, and I admit that I like coming to the studio like this, presenting brand new vehicles. All right, see you soon. Ciao.